Hi everyone, welcome back to me streaming Corpse Factory. So, in our previous stream, we have ended Kojiro's route, which was surprisingly very short and quite sad, in my opinion. Because, well, his ending was like the most sad one. Yeah, in the end, he didn't get what he wanted, and he even died by fire, which apparently was what he was afraid of because of trauma, and he didn't get the girl that he wanted. So now we are starting a new act, which was Aoi Sato, which is this girl right here. And it was revealed that, to me, in my opinion, there is no surprise that she is the Herald. Yes, the one in charge of the human removal service. Yeah, so now we are starting her chapter, and we get to find out more about her personality, which caught me by surprise actually. So without further ado, let's continue the chapter. Oh, by the way, there was a time skip of 1 month after Kojiro died, where I think there was an interaction between Aoi and Noriko, but it was not explored yet, I think. So I hope they will explore it as the game progress. So okay, let's continue. So Aoi went to Tomoe's apartment, and tried to kill her because of her association with Noriko. And someone knocked her out. So now, let's see what happens here. I can't count how many small movies I've seen where characters claim they had an out-of-body experience. I've heard the stories in real life too. People on the brink of death or unconsciousness tell tales of how they could view their own body from a lofty spiritual perch. I never put much stock into such nonsense. How can someone dead or dying view the world with any form of clarity? When I died all those years ago, I didn't experience any such thing. It was kind of disappointing, even though I didn't expect much. Being clubbed across the head in Tomoe's apartment was a completely different experience than the time glass shards pierced my neck. I wonder what happened over here. The time glass shards pierced my neck. What happened over here? I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of consciousness, riding around on the hard floor. I can see some more light, some blurred shapes, and I can see my body down below. My body, delicate and frail and slowly decaying. I don't get it. Why would I have an out-of-body experience now of all times? I sure as hell didn't experience anything of the sort when my father slit my neck. Oh. So, why now? I wonder if any of my victims ever suffered from hallucinations like this before dying. Did Gotomi Ida and all those people on the train platform experience this after I cut them open? Oh, it was her? Oh, it was her. Did they also helplessly look down on their own bodies from above as the train screeched past? Amy Katsuno. Boy, did she scream when I pushed her over the balcony railing. Oh? Did her spirit leave her body to look down on her splattered corpse? What about the other nameless souls I've claimed on Noriko's website? Oh, she has been following him for quite a while. account and it has been hacked for quite a while. So, what has Noriko been doing actually? Did it really happen? As in, were her victims actually fell for Noriko's what do you call it? Noriko's mode of operation, or was it Aoi all along? There have been so many bodies piled up, countless gifts pledged in Corpse Girl's name. I didn't kill them because I wanted to shed blood. I did it to delude Noriko. That was the goal at the start, anyway. Noriko never caught on to what I was doing. She took all the credit, thinking she was some all-powerful being in control of the fate of her victims. She never even tried to understand the truth. I slaved away for her, cutting and strangling and slashing and slicing. I piled up bodies for Noriko, but Corpse Girl claimed all the kills. It was a pointless endeavor. I think she would have spiraled into madness even without the power trip. I suppose it didn't matter now. Things have changed. My only focus now is to kill Noriko. I should have done so right at the start. I'll kill her for wasting my time. As I look down on my body below, I see a girl too scared to go on, too scared to struggle anymore. It's a shame. If I wasn't killed years ago, I might have had the chance to live a normal life. Well, there's nothing else for it. I feel my spirit returning to my body. It's a strange sensation because I know I'm not returning to life. How could I? I've been dead far too long. My only chance is to claim Noriko's life for my own. I'll become her and discard this rotting, walking corpse. I can hardly see without my glasses. Everything is blurry, foggy, lacking a solid outline. Colors bleed into other colors. Blue blends into purple, and yellow melts into brown. It doesn't help that I'm partially colorblind. Never had much luck telling red and green apart anyway. Without my glasses, I'm practically blind, helpless.
You're finally awake. Fucking skank.
She spits at me and her filthy saliva drips down the side of my face. It's warm. I try to lash out at her only to find my arms have been bound to my side. I try to scream out, but my mouth is gagged with what I can only assume is a sock. I try to lunge forward, but I'm strapped tightly to the wooden chair I'm sitting in.
I can't believe this.
I knew it was Shinya.
This is so strange. I just...
Shut up, Shinya. Jeez.
Sorry.
The blurred forms of Tomoe and Shinya are pacing the room. Even without my full vision, I can tell the room is bright. Sunlight is pouring in from the open window. Just how much time passed since I was knocked unconscious? And why have they tied me up here? I scream into the mouth gag, somehow loud enough to capture their attention. Tomoe strides toward me and pulls the damn sock from my mouth.
What? What do you want?
I mumble something about being unable to see. Tomoe swears, stumbles around for a bit, then forcefully pushes my glasses onto my face.
What are you going to do to me?
I don't know. That's up to this genius.
Her arm gestures towards Shinya, a pointed finger loaded with accusation.
Me? Look, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just saw you were in trouble, so...
Why are you here anyway? We're done. Over.
I wanted to see you.
Oh?
Ah!
I'm not in the mood for their lovers' quarrel.
Let me go, or bury me. Either way, don't keep me here.
You nearly killed me, bitch! It's taken all my strength not to murder you right here!
Go ahead. Try it.
Ooh.
You can't kill the dead.
You're a freak.
Let me call my father. I'm sure he can take her in for questioning. He can find out her motives for attacking you.
I already know why she attacked me. She's trying to take down everyone associated with
Tomoe casts a snapshot.
Never mind that.
I wonder, is Shinya not privy to Tomoe's relationship with Corpse Girl? Intriguing. As Tomoe's former boyfriend, I simply assumed he was a part of the operation. I thought he was an accomplice. If he doesn't know anything, then I don't need to kill him. One less person to deal with before I go after Noriko. Oh, Shinya. You just, what do they call it? You just avoided a blade right there. However, I need to focus on getting out of here first.
If you let me go, I'll never bother you again.
A lie.
Why should I believe you? You followed me to my freaking home!
I'm sorry.
Lie.
Then I'll exchange information for my release. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Lie, lie, lie.
Like I care! I'm done with all the shit between Noriko and you!
Noriko? Has she got something to do with this?
Shut up, Shinya!
Shinya. Perhaps he's my ticket out of here. I turn my head to him and wait until he looks directly at me.
Shinya, I'm so thirsty. Can I have some water?
This manipulative Virgo. He pauses, but since Tomoe doesn't interfere, he ducks out of sight. He returns within seconds, holding a half-filled cup out to me.
Here.
I pop forward as best as I can against my restraints and take a sip of the lukewarm tap water.
Thank you.
It's worth noting how easy he is to manipulate. He's the complete opposite of my Junpei, who is strong and independent and doesn't let anyone mess with him.
So, about my offer. Will you let me go if I share information about the human removal service?
Shinya's face turns pale.
The human removal service? That's...
I really couldn't care less about all of that. I told you, I'm done with everything.
I see.
Tomoe. She might have information that can assist with my investigation. We have to accept her offer.
So easy to manipulate.
Oh, please. You're no cop as much as you fancy pretending to be one.
I already told you that Father accepted me as part of the investigation team.
You're a hack, a wannabe.
Why can't you just be happy for me?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tomoe storms off, the sheer force of her anger causing the walls to tremble. Shinya and I are alone in the room. I don't waste another second.
Shinya, I don't know everything that's going on, but it sounds like you're trying to solve the murder cases, right?
How is Aoi going to spin this?
That's right. I'm really helping the investigation team, you know?
That's good. Very good. Please, I have information that might help you. Will you let me go if I share it with you?
His nervous eyes dart around, searching for any sign of Tomoe's presence. And then he looks me dead in the eyes and says the very last thing I ever expected to hear.
I'll let you go if you help me kill Noriko Kurosawa.
What? Oh, that's a twist.
This is your apartment?
Yes.
Please forgive me for intruding.
Oh shit, yeah, why did you? Never mind. Shinya bows politely and removes his shoes. He places them carefully in front of the doorstep and takes a stride forward. He takes a good look around before turning to me.
You have a nice place.
Oh, please, I wish he would cut off the formalities. We're here to discuss serious business. He's acting like we're new co-workers or something. I walk over to the door and make sure it's fully closed. I slide the deadbolt into place.
The door is locked.
Is this the OCD or is she trying to lock him in? I think maybe it's the OCD. I whisper this under my breath so Shinya can't hear me.
The door is locked.
Repeating phrases like this has become sort of a mantra. It helps me concentrate. Oops. Ow. When I'm about 90% sure the door is actually locked, I wander back to Shinya. It takes all of my willpower to refrain from turning back and checking once more. Thankfully, Shinya distracts me from my inner turmoil.
Is everything you told me true? I want to make sure I have all the facts straight.
Yes, it's true. All of it.
Oh, she has already explained it? What did she explain to you, Shinya? Truth intermingled with lies is still the truth, right? I lucked out when Tomoe left the two of us alone in her apartment. If I'd had to explain things to her, I would have had to give her inside information on the human removal services operations. Anything less could have clashed with her existing knowledge and caused her to doubt me. But since I only had to explain things to Shinya, I had already determined that Shinya wasn't in the loop. So I concocted a convincing lie in order to secure his cooperation. And he bought it.
Just want to get my head around it. Noriko Kurosawa is Corpse Girl. She's the one that was behind the initial string of murders across the city. She delivered photos and corpses to her victims in order to convince them that they would die soon. And that had the effect of causing people to kill themselves. Almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep, until now that is true. Of course, all of this part is true, kinda. Yeah, she just revealed that to killing those victims head on. Shinya doesn't need to know that I acted behind the scenes and brought the victims low by my own hand. Those acts of violence almost seem like a distant memory now. I was so committed to aiding Noriko that I couldn't think of anything else. In the end, my assistance didn't help my own situation. I only propelled Noriko's ego into the stars and continued to suffer my cursed half-existence.
But it wasn't long before another group started killing people in much the same way as Noriko did. A group called the Human Removal Service. They've killed hundreds, if not thousands of people in the past months.
Again, all true, so far.
And you were enslaved by Noriko? Forced against your will to infiltrate the Human Removal Service and bring them down from the inside?
Oh, that is blatant lie right there.
That's right.
And because of her betrayal as a fair girl, yeah, who would believe that she's the heroine? Hey, he's an idiot.
That explains why you want to kill Noriko. You want to be free from her, even if it isn't exactly the legal thing to do.
Yeah, that might be her motive, but what's your motive to kill Noriko? Legal? What kind of pedestal is this guy standing on? He specifically requested assistance to do the exact same thing. He wants Noriko dead, just like I do.
But if I remember correctly, you only managed to learn one important thing about the Human Removal Service, right?
What is that one important thing?
Yes.
The group is made up of dozens of members. Dozens of people that all masquerade as the leader known as the Herald. There's no single person responsible for the murders. It's the joint effort of a large group, all striking across the city simultaneously. Am I correct?
And there's the real kicker. He's absolutely spot on. I didn't mind sharing this tidbit of information with him. It does nothing to assist with his investigation. And wrapping the lie that I was Noriko's lackey in a blanket of truth makes everything all the more convincing.
Yes. That's right.
Phew, okay. I think I understand everything. Thank you for your help.
There's one thing I'm not entirely comfortable about. Shinya hasn't been forthcoming with his reasons for wanting Noriko dead. Yeah, true. If I don't air the question, I feel like he will never address it.
Can you tell me why you want to kill Noriko?
He tries to back away from the question by twiddling his thumbs and pretending to examine the nearby wall.
Shinya, I need to know. Otherwise, how can I trust you?
Trust. It's a word that has always made me laugh. How can I trust anybody? I couldn't even trust my own parents, the people who swore to raise and protect me. My mother hit me when I misbehaved, when I overslept by 5 minutes or raised my voice ever so slightly. I was a child. How could I ever trust her not to lash out at me? My father, how could I ever trust him after he killed me? And Noriko. Noriko, the one friend I opened up to, the one person who knew all about my struggles. She betrayed me. She kept her perfect life out of reach, taunted me with it, dangled it in front of me like a carrot on a string. And when I asked to share her life with her, she completely misinterpreted it. She told me she loved me, told me she wanted to be with me. She wanted to shower me with gifts, hold my hand, be intimate with me. She wanted to be my girlfriend, but how could I ever be intimate with her after what I went through? She didn't understand me. She didn't understand that I wanted to be her, not be with her. She wouldn't trade lives with me, so how could I ever trust her? How could I trust her when she said she loved me but wasn't willing to make a sacrifice to make me happy? Why am I suddenly producing an accent? Everyone is full of and I'll never trust anybody again, including Junpei. Oh, yeah, I guess including Junpei. Junpei spends every day trying to prove his love to me. He assists me with my compulsive behavior. He helps me do my shopping, helps me keep my apartment neat and tidy. Do I trust him? No. I know what he wants from me. He is no better than Noriko. He is willing to jump through hoops for me in the hope that he'll eventually conquer my flesh. Even when he tries to help out with my compulsions, I don't have full faith in him. He takes it upon himself to complete my checklist of rituals in order to spare me the stress. But more often than not, I still have to go ahead and double check everything, just to make sure he didn't F anything up. If I can't even trust him with that, then I know I'll never be able to trust another soul with anything. Looking at Shinya now, pacing nervously around my apartment, I decide not to put any stock into what he says next. There's no way in hell that I'll believe whatever comes out of his mouth.
Noriko is my friend, but my father, Chief Detective Fujikawa, in case you didn't know, has declared her the prime suspect of our investigation.
Oh?
Thing is, Father isn't the most lenient person, and he's been cracking under stress lately. If he finds Noriko, if he arrests her, there will be no trial. She'll simply get life behind bars. Guaranteed.
Shinya hangs his head and I hear a quiet sob.
Is that our country's idea of justice?
Hmm?
She doesn't deserve anything less than death for her crimes.
Oh.
Letting her live safely behind bars isn't a punishment. It's an act of mercy.
Oh, Shinya, your mind.
I want to ensure Noriko receives true justice, fitting judgment for the lives she destroyed.
What he's saying just doesn't add up. How does he know she won't receive the death penalty? It's true that it's not a common punishment, but it is still legal in this country, especially for cases of mass murder. Does Shinya have information that I don't?
I need to find her. I need to hand her the justice that my father is too cowardly to deliver.
I see. Whatever. I'm already sick of this guy. He acts like he's been personally wronged by Noriko's crimes, like he's so high and mighty and knows what's best. I doubt he knew a single person that Noriko killed.
Fine. To be honest, I don't really care about your reasons. As long as you want Noriko dead, then our goals are the same. But I have to ask, will you turn yourself into the police after you kill her?
I think he will. Once again, Shinya hangs his head.
I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't.
He leaves his sentence hanging in midair. It wasn't exactly a confirmation.
There's only one problem. I have no idea where Noriko's hiding. She doesn't live in her apartment anymore. She doesn't show up to her office. I know that she has a factory that she runs her operation from, but I can't find it.
That is supposed to raise suspicions already. She is, maybe not, because she was enslaved by Noriko, so I guess Noriko will not tell her slave where she hides the bodies.
I see. I might be able to help. Tomoe and Noriko used to spend a lot of time together. I'm not sure what they used to get up to, but I checked the travel history on Tomoe's IC card, and she made a lot of trips to Shinokubo.
Oh, you stalker, you. Her IC card. For people traveling by train every day, buying single-use tickets is often a pain in the reusable IC cards are much more convenient. You can top them up with money and simply swipe them at the ticket gates to have your train fare automatically deducted. Best of all, they keep a record of your transaction history and the stations you've traveled to recently. The fact that Shinya even thought to look at Tomoe's travel history makes me want to reconsider my initial assessment of the guy's detective skills.
Shina Okubo, you say?
Yeah, can't imagine what she was doing there, but all the dates she traveled to that station coincide with days she claimed to be hanging out with Noriko.
I still don't think Shinya realizes that Tomoe was in on Noriko's operation. Regardless, this is valuable information. Chances are good that Noriko and Tomoe spend a lot of time together at their factory, and that factory may very well be located in Shinokubo. I'll feed this information to Junpei and see what he makes of it. Perhaps he knows something I don't.
Thanks for the info. That's enough for today. I'll contact you when I locate Noriko.
Oh, say, just one more thing.
What is it?
If you've been wanting to kill her, then why haven't you just called her and asked her to meet up with you?
He thinks He's so clever. He thinks has everything all worked out. He doesn't know.
It's not that easy. I need to find where she's living and running her operation from. I want to destroy everything involved with Corpse Girl. I want to burn her factory to the ground.
More lies. Lies on top of lies. The truth of the matter is that Noriko knows perfectly well my intentions for her, even if she temporarily forgets it during moments of delirium. She would never agree to meet up with me. Not now. Things were different not so long ago, but I missed that opportunity. Noriko worked out my position in the human removal service. She figured out that I'm the herald, the one responsible for slicing and dicing. She doesn't know that there's more than one herald, but that's irrelevant. And she doesn't know that I'm responsible for the mass of bodies littered across Tokyo thanks to Corpse Girl's website. However, as long as she knows I'm a threat, she'll never agree to meet with me. How she came to the conclusion that I'm the enemy is beyond me. She's a sharp person, despite teetering on the edge of a total breakdown. Oh, there's background work being done. It doesn't matter. The point is, I can't simply call and meet up with her. Besides, I actually do want to locate the factory just as much as I want to locate her. The factory is where I'll plant myself. It's where I'll start my life anew. It's where I'll grow and blossom into the new Corpse Girl once I've taken over Noriko's identity. Shinya is contemplating my answer. It seems good enough for him.
Fair enough. You want to see Corpse Girl completely and utterly defeated. I get that. That's your idea of justice.
Sure.
Agreeing with him will make this ordeal of a conversation end quicker.
I'm going to get some rest. So...
Okay. I understand. I'll take my leave. Call me when you locate Noriko, okay?
yes.
Here's the thing, if she claims that her father slit her neck, depends on how deep it is. Until now, I do not see any, scars on her neck. Except the fact that her voice has actually, is in a whisper. I don't know if that's because of her personality or the damage to her vocal cords because of the alleged slit of the neck. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just art. Lie.
Farewell then.
He makes his way to the door and I don't take my eyes off him until he disappears through the portal. When he's gone, I tiptoe toward the door and confirm it's fully closed. I make sure the door is snugly nestled in the wooden frame. I lock the door handle, then slide the deadbolt into place.
The door is locked.
But is it?
The door is locked.
I can't be certain. To my eyes that fail me on a daily basis, that betray my mind with illusions and phantoms, the door seems to be locked. But why should I trust my eyes? I don't trust anyone. Why should I trust parts of myself? I can't even see colors clearly. Red, green, whatever. I can't see anything without the aid of glasses. The door has to be locked. It has to be, otherwise I won't be able to walk away. I won't be able to stop thinking about it until I come back and check again and again and again and again.
The door is locked.
I turn away, take a deep breath, and then immediately turn back.
The door is locked. The door is locked.
I'm pretty sure the deadbolt is in place. It certainly looks in place. I'm so exhausted. I'm tired of the routines and rituals. Why can't I just walk away? If I walked away, the problem wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be stuck standing here checking and double checking something so trivial. If I could walk away, I would be so full of stress, so worked up about things that ultimately don't matter. Another deep breath, and I take a step back.
Doors locked.
I turn, run, dash. I sprint through the room, sprint through the hallway. I slam my body into my bedroom door, throwing it wide open. I collapse on my bed. I ignore the nagging in my brain telling me that the door is unlocked. I ignore it until it feels too real and I have to scratch at my flesh just to distract myself. I pull my pillow over my head and hold it tightly around my face. I am safe here, safe in my bed. The door is locked. Locked. I try to convince myself to fall asleep, tell myself I'll feel better after I rest. I hope I locked the front door. I doubt she's getting the medication.
So yeah, I reckon I'll have some work for you soon. The other heralds have been keeping the numbers up. There just haven't been any requests for this area lately, you know?
Yeah.
I'm only half listening to Junpei. He said something about why I haven't been tasked with killing anyone lately, but I don't really care about the reasons. Wait, so is she in charge of the human removal service or Junpei? I'm not sure at this rate. Junpei is the only one in contact with the leader of the human removal service. I just take orders like all of the other heralds. I see. She is not the leader. She's just one of the lackeys. I see. Not that I've met any of them. Every herald has their own district, their own turf. If a request comes through our website, it gets allocated to the herald closest to the victim. It must have been a week since I last got to kill, maybe 2 weeks. It's not that I like the killing, it's not that I want to do it. I fulfill the request simply as a way to antagonize Noriko. It's my role to play in backing her into a corner and shutting down Corpse Girl. And so far, thanks to my contributions to the human removal service, we have been incredibly successful. Corpse Girl is all but a distant memory to the general public. If people really want to request somebody's death, they come to us, not to her. I don't plan on remaining with this group for much longer. After all, Noriko is pretty much already broken. She's a wreck. Once I find her, I'll possess her and quit this group. Then I'll finally have the life I always wanted, Noriko's life. I'll resurrect Corpse Girl when I feel like it. I'll use my inside knowledge on the human remote services operations to bring them down myself. After that, I'll be able to spend my days in peace, living free of fear, finally comfortable in being the girl I want to be. I'll truly be Noriko.
Yo, babe, you in there?
Huh?
I suppose I drifted too far away. I rub my eyes, look at Junpei, and flash him my sweetest fake smile.
I'm okay. Sorry, honey bear. I'm very tired.
Oh, don't sweat it. You want me to grab you a cup of coffee?
That would be lovely. You always know how to make me feel better.
Of course. I'm on it, babe. You wait right there.
Junpei stomps away and heads behind the bar, leaving me alone in this empty section of the cafe. I take a seat on one of the cardboard boxes lining the wall. The box is solid thanks to being packed full of various canned drinks. The main cafe belongs to us in the early hours of the morning. The place doesn't open until noon, so there's no one here this early. I have my own keys these days, regardless of whether or not I'm supposed to. Junpei suggested we use the place as a makeshift base of operations after I decided I was going to continue working here. That was some time ago now. Originally, I truly had planned to quit. I was going to go work with My manager at the time used to drive me insane. I couldn't wait to get away, But after I killed him, things here weren't so bad. Oh. No wonder. The new manager is great. He doesn't pressure me to work shifts I don't want to. He doesn't let customers take advantage of the staff. Neither the new manager nor the other staff members care that Junpei and I meet up down here. It's not like we leave any incriminating evidence behind either. It's simply an easy place for us to meet up and talk, since Junpei lives so far away from me. The other benefit is that we have access to cheap drinks and food thanks to my employee discount, so hanging out here is actually quite pleasant. I wait for a while longer for Junpei to return. I really could use a coffee right now. His return is heralded by the thump of heavy feet against the tile floor.
I got you, fam.
Junpei sidles up to me and hands me my favorite drink, a tall iced coffee with an extra espresso shot and a dollop of ice cream.
Oh, you're the best, baby.
Yeah, I know it.
He giggles in his insanely irritating high-pitched way and begins to chug down his own latte.
So I wanted to ask you a favor.
Anything for you, honeybee.
A tuft of murky foam sits on his top lip, and I have to hold myself back from stabbing him in the face.
Noriko apparently spent a lot of time in Shin Okubo with her accomplice Tomoe.
Shin Okubo, huh? Good old K-Town. What'd they go there for? Karaoke?
Doubt it. Noriko sounds like a drowning cat when she sings.
Then what?
Well, I'd like to think that's where the factory is located.
Oh, gotcha. Ooh, you could be onto something. Trip from Kojiro's morgue to Shin Okubo wouldn't take that long. Since they used to move a lot of bodies around, it's definitely a viable location.
He used his original name.
I agree.
Original name? What am I talking about? His real name.
Right on, I'll look into it. I'll track down factories in that area and get my troops to investigate each one.
I'm careful not to let him see me roll my eyes. By his troops, he means the guys he plays online games with. A bunch of teenagers that all look up to him because he's a top-ranked player. They're not involved with the human removal service. They're just pawns that Junpei uses to complete legwork around town. Sadly, they're happy to serve him because they all see him as their sensei.
Cool. Let me know what you find out. I'm itching to get this all over with. My love.
It's increasingly difficult to act pleasant around Junpei. My mouth tries to clamp itself shut every time I use a pet name or affectionate term. I know that my time to discard him is near. Once I become Noriko, then...
You can count on me, sweetums. Now drink up and get your energy back.
I take a sip of my iced coffee and can nearly taste it. Because my tongue is dead, the food and drinks I consume need to be extra strong or sweet for me to have a chance of enjoying the flavor. But Junpei doesn't know this. He just thinks I have a sweet tooth. He can think whatever he wants because I just don't care. A message from Junpei arrives while I'm lying in the fetal position on my couch. Junpei, free Wi-Fi. Hey cutie, the guys checked out a bunch of factories yesterday. Got a location, HMU. I had to read the message twice to be sure my eyes aren't deceiving me like usual. Does he truly have the location I've been looking for? I take a calming breath. I don't want to jump to conclusions, especially with something involving Junpei. He has a tendency to exaggerate and may just be trying to get me excited about some useless information. I send him a short reply requesting the info. I instantly receive a thumbs up emote, then the text box changed into an animated ellipsis as Junpei composes his follow-up message. The wait is agonizing. If Junpei pulls through for me here, I might finally learn Noriko's location. If it all pans out, then everything could be over by tonight. It's hard to not get excited about the prospect. It's hard not to get ahead of myself. I could leave my death behind and never look back. I could become Noriko and live the happy life she has been keeping to herself all these years. The message finally arrives on my screen. It's an address. Not that I expected anything else. A street name and a factory number in the Shin Okubo area. One more message for Junpei comes through. Junpei, free Wi-Fi. My guys saw a chick matching Noriko's description inside that factory. They thought she was a zombie. Ha! Go check it. This is it. As long as this information is solid, I've located Noriko's factory. My entire body begins to shake. An icy chill washes over me as though I've just walked into a cold shower. It's a strange sensation for a dead girl to feel. Pain doesn't affect me, and yet the cold is something I can never banish from my bones. No wonder she didn't have any reaction when Kojiro stabbed her. No time to focus on that. I have to stay calm, need to concentrate and pull myself together. I launch myself out from the couch and collect the backpack hanging over the coat rack. I unzip it, run my hands through its contents, and convince myself that everything I need is within. After swinging the bag over my shoulder, I throw open the apartment door and venture outside. Did you lock the door behind you, Aoi? The factory is a rundown mess. How anyone can live here is beyond me. I suppose I'll just have to find a way to make it feel like home. Maybe once I'm inside Noriko's skin, I'll be able to understand why she's comfortable here. Yeah, the more I look at it, the better it seems. This will be my home. I'll be Noriko and live here happily ever after. I'll sit back and enjoy the life that she has been withholding from me. Will it be a letdown for her though? I wonder. Firstly, I need to find somewhere to change my clothes. I can't kill someone if I'm wearing my nice dress. That's just not acceptable. I did consider changing at home, but then I would have scored funny looks from people on the train ride over here. Is it strange that a dead girl fears entering a socially awkward situation? I always go out of my way to avoid uncomfortable situations. Perhaps that's just a remnant of the life I once knew. Something that I can't quite leave behind. It's the same as my obsessive compulsions. They cling to me like Karen flies swarming around over my corpse. I shouldn't be worried about any of those things, but dead or not, my mind can't just discard the anxieties that shaped my entire life. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I trapping myself in pointless thoughts? My goal is right in front of me. Noriko is on the other side of that brick wall, completely unaware of what is about to happen. A heavy-handed slap to my face doesn't sting, but it causes me to reevaluate what I'm doing. Focus! First, I'll change into the gear provided to me by the human removal service. Then, I'll shimmy into the factory through an open window. I'll locate Noriko and drive a knife into her chest. I'll pluck a still beating heart from her body like a ripe strawberry. Then I'll carve my name into the pulsating, blood-spurting organ. Noriko's life will be over and I'll be reborn. I'll baptize myself in her lifeblood and become the girl I've always wanted to be. And I'll be happy. Happy, just like Noriko. That smiling, carefree girl that I spent my youth with. The girl that faced her mother's attempted with a stoic smile. The girl that didn't flinch when her father walked out. The girl that stayed inside day after day, when the outside world just became too scary to face. The happy, carefree girl with a single real problem. She never knew how good her life was. She wouldn't have lasted a day in my shoes. I hate her so much. I'm going to become her. My backpack hits the ground with a dull impact. I tear my yellow sundress from my shoulders and let it fall to the ground, just like a snake sheds its skin. The cool afternoon breeze bites at my naked skin and makes the tiny hairs across my body stand on end. Why can the dead feel the cold? The dead shouldn't feel anything. I crouch and rummage through my backpack, withdrawing my change of clothes. Slowly, calmly, deliberately, I dress myself in the dark gear that marks me as a herald, one of many. I note the comforting weight of 4 knives. 4. Concealed within my jacket, 1 in each sleeve and 2 against my chest. It's important to be armed to the teeth. After donning every article, I pull a broad mask out of the bag. A mask in the likeness of Corpse Girl, my enemy and my future identity. I slide the mask over my face and a curtain of calm descends over me. This is the last time I march forward in the name of the human removal service. This is for my own personal agenda. The scheming of that rebellious group of killers no longer guides my hand. The time has come. I approach the factory's front entrance and try the door, simply out of curiosity. I don't expect Noiko to have lowered her guards so much, and yet the door swings open. She left it unlocked. A mistake I never would have made thanks to my overbearing compulsions. Oh, there are more corpses. I don't know whether I noticed it that day. This place reeks of death. If I wasn't so accustomed to the smell, I'd probably vomit. To dead girls vomit? The dull, steady hum of an air conditioner registers in my consciousness, but doesn't distract me from examining the surroundings. Countless empty body bags are strewn across the pock-marked concrete floor. Some are stained with brown blood, and some are completely clean. A series of shelves, almost like warehouse racks, ran across the walls and across the floor in haphazard patterns. Whoever planned this layout was out of their mind. However, this is home now. My home. Soon. Striding forward, I weave between shelves and step over discarded body bags. So far, there has been no indication of Noriko's presence. Still, I draw a knife from inside my sleeve so that it rests in the palm of my hand. The metal handle is cold. Cold. Why do I feel cold? The entire factory is like a freezer. How can Noriko live here?
Hey.
My torso twists in reaction to the monotone syllable. The quick movement sends a shooting pain across my chest. Pain? Pain?
It's you. Hello, Harold. It took me a while, but I figured out what your mask is supposed to be. It's like an artistic representation of Corpse Girl, right? The Corpse Girl mascot that appears on my website.
Noriko flashes her phone at me and I glare at the website display. Where were you stabbed, Aoi?
That's totally copyright infringement.
I don't know what to say to her. This isn't exactly how I imagined this encounter would play out.
Why'd you fake Junpei Matsumoto's death? You know what I'm talking about, right? That time we met in the underground parking lot. You planted a look-alike corpse to fool us into thinking Junpei had died. Total Corpse Girl move, by the way. Guess you stole that strategy from me, too. I sense a lawsuit.
She steps forward with her hand outstretched. I instinctively lash out with my knife, and slash her wrist. But her hand comes to rest on my shoulder, The tiny nick from my inaccurate blade not even prompting a spurt of blood. Or is she just too skinny? The blood has dried up. I mean malnourished.
Ouch! That stung a little.
The warmth of her hand seeps into my shoulder. It's almost comforting.
Aoi, I miss you. I really miss you. Can you take off the mask? Can we just talk?
I don't take off the mask. I don't know why I'm standing here listening to her. I don't know why her presence and her reassuring hand has caused me to lower my guard. She smiles. This is the happy, carefree Noiko I grew up with.
You're so beautiful, Aoi. I'm really sad we can't be together. How are things with your boyfriend?
That single, useless word crossed out of my rotting mouth like a deceased maggot. It's all I can bring myself to say.
You can't tell me? That's okay. You used to be so open with me. And then, you died. We tried to keep our friendship going after that, but we've never really been the same since then, have we? I hope you get the help you need, Aoi. I hope one day we can put all of this behind us.
My fingers loosen, the grip on my knife weakening. It falls to the concrete ground. I don't need it anymore. What? I tense my arms and squeeze my hands together, desperately trying to crush Noriko's throat beneath my fingers. Her skin is warm and flushes red as my grip tightens. Can you even see red? She kicks against me, but the pain doesn't register. She's weak and frail. Her strangled cry is drowned out by my own grunts of exertion. Anemic fingers strike at my arms constantly, only serving to irritate me. I could hold her neck in one hand and use my other to plunge her neck into her face. I could continue to strangle her until I crush her windpipe. Or I could slash her stomach open and let her intestines spill out onto the ground. All of the options are appealing. All of the options here can be put into motion within seconds. I take my right hand off my hand off her neck and slip it into my jacket, ready to pull out a knife. My left hand closes tighter on her neck. And Noriko closes the distance between us, causing my elbow to bend and allow her closer. Her forehead slams into my own and my neck recoils backward. I'm falling to the ground, only able to blink once as I try to work out what just happened. She somehow summoned the strength to headbutt me. Frail, weak, ghostly Noriko. She actually stood up for herself. She actually struck the person she loves. I'm dazed, but ultimately uninjured. I didn't even feel the impact of my skull against the concrete when I landed flat on my back. Noriko towers over me and rubs her neck, her ragged breathing even louder than a thrumming air conditioner.
Sorry, Aoi. I had to defend myself. Please, get up. Let's talk about things.
Ooh, that total 180. I get up. I slip the knife into her side and feel it slide neatly between two of her ribs. Her taut, thin skin does nothing to resist impalement. Noriko looks down at the wound and mumbles in surprise. I drive the knife in deeper, and with a flick of my wrist, I pull it sideways, slashing her belly wide open. And arching, I think. Stream of blood sprays from the savage wound and forms a macabre rainbow before me. Noriko coughs and gags as she frantically tries to stem the tide of blood with her hands.
Damn it!
Ooh, that's a nice voice acting right there.
Corpse girl will...
She falls to her knees.
Get you...
Her Her empty thread falls with her and her face slams into the concrete. Noriko Kurosawa is dead. Using the very same knife that slashed her open, I cut along the seams of my jacket and skirt. I strip myself down with a blade until I'm standing cold and naked in the factory. It doesn't take long to strip Noriko down as well, but I'm extra careful with the clothes and I don't use the knife this time. I simply pull her dress up and over her until it slides free from her motionless body. I hold the dress up against me, letting it press against my own form. I look down and admire the side of myself, imagining what I'll look like when I'm married. I can finally become Noriko. I can wear her clothes, live in the factory, talk to her friends, work at her office. I can do all the things that she loved to do, all the things that made her happy. I slip the dress over my head and force my arms through the sleeves. It's a little long, but overall it fits me nicely. I'm Noriko Kurosawa. Final act. Also, what? So fast? Wait, that's quick. Okay, I guess this is what Noriko's. We're back to Noriko Kurosawa, I guess. My mother, she didn't die. Well, she died, but not really. It's a funny thought. Everything that she was, everything that made her Asuna Kurosawa, left this planet on that day. Her body remained, but her soul had departed. She got sent away to a care facility and I didn't see her very often after that. On the rare occasions I visited her, I would always notice that her eyes no longer looked like mine. I hate her for what she did to our family. Yurika and I were only children at the time. But mother up from the ceiling and made us watch. She encouraged us to kick the chair out from underneath her. We didn't understand what she was doing. She told us it was a game. So we kicked the chair and we laughed. Laughed, I mean. And mother laughed, and then her neck snapped, and she stopped laughing, and that light in her eyes that I once shared with her was extinguished instantly. Yuriko screamed, and I screamed, and mother just wouldn't move, and we couldn't get her down from the ceiling. And eventually Yuriko remembered how to call for an ambulance, and the paramedics arrived, and we were taken away. And after that, I was completely because you don't just walk away from something like that and act like nothing happened. I spent years trying to force the painful memories of her attempted out of my mind. But I didn't exactly cope with it very well. How could I? I became terrified of the world and became used to locking myself inside and wasting away. Yuriko dealt with it a little better than me. I can't say her rebellious behavior was the right way to cope. I had to have been healthier than staying inside for weeks at a time. By the time we reached senior high school, I think I had mostly gotten past everything. The vision of mother hanging from a ceiling in front of me didn't haunt my dreams. The sound of our laughter intermingled with screaming didn't always ring in my ears. Aoi helped me through a lot of it. She shared all of her problems with me, and it made me feel a bit better, like maybe my life wasn't so bad. Okay, hold on, I need to drink water. Okay. Aoi's life was kind of messed up. Her father was arrested for various crimes and didn't spend much time in her life. When we were about ready to graduate, he came back to town and violently attacked her. She called me and told me that he killed her. But she killed him too. So it was all going to be okay. Her words, not mine. I never understood what she meant when she said she was dead. I think graduating put some distance between us, so I never truly tried to figure out her words. My own problems came back to haunt me once I moved out of home. I became completely distracted and almost forgot about Aoi. The apartment I moved into, I should have known that the smell of mold wasn't normal. I should have paid attention to the shoddy repair work that had been performed on the wall. I should have just walked away and found somewhere else to live. But that apartment, I suppose that's where I started to lose control of my life. And that's exactly the reason why I need to return there. Several days later. Which several days later?
Looks the same as always.
I'm not looking forward to climbing the rest of the stairs up to the apartment. I can hardly walk at all, even on flat ground. But I have to do this. Wait, did she survive? I can't let stitches and bandages and painkillers distract me from getting inside. What? She survived. I don't know how long I was in the hospital for. None of my personal effects were with me when I woke up. I had no phone, no purse, no handbag. But the doctors monitored me for a few days and let me go, even though I told them I had nowhere to return to. They just threw me onto the street. They couldn't even tell me what happened to the girl who attacked me. They had no idea if she had been arrested or not. I have a feeling she's still out there. Regardless, I'm here now. My wound is apparently on the mend and I don't have any signs of infection. All I have to focus is the ascent in front of me. Each step I climb is more difficult to conquer than the last. Each step I raise my leg, I experience a tearing, searing agony along the length of my stomach. More than once, I have to stop and check that my stitches haven't torn wide open. When I'm sure my flesh is more or less intact, I continue scaling the mountain. My head throbs and beads of sweat drip down my face. When I hit the landing on the level below my own apartment, I spy a familiar face.
Noriko?
Momo Ogawa, the daughter of Kenji Ogawa, the man I framed in order to maintain my innocence.
Hey, Momo. Dad!
Her panic cry isn't the reaction I was suspecting. Her father is exiting her apartment just as Momo cries out. He does a double take before glaring at me.
Noriko, surprised to see you here.
I can't quite get a grasp of his tone. Is he happy to see me or angry? Does he even know that I'm the reason he was arrested? Well, I'm assuming that the police let him go fairly quickly. After all, he's here at his home and not rotting in a cell.
Hello.
Your landlord said you disappeared.
Yeah, kind of.
Are you okay? You look like...
His gaze turns to the hospital tags adorning my wrists and the package of spare bandages I slung over my shoulder.
You know, you disappeared right around the time the police...
Huh?
Forget it. It's nothing.
I have a bad feeling that he's beginning to piece something together. If it works out that I'm behind this false arrest, then...
Sorry, I should go.
Yeah. Come on, Momo.
Bye-bye, Noriko! Bye, Momo.
The girl waves excitedly as her father leads her downstairs. I should feel relieved that he's safe, but honestly, I just feel guilty. My actions, corpse girl's actions, put a lot of strain on that little family. I have to keep going. The last flight of stairs is torture on my battered body, but I persevere and reach the front door of my apartment. It's at this moment that I remember I don't have any keys to get in. Out of desperation, I try turning the handle and the door opens. Either I left the place unlocked, or the landlord has been inside and forgot to lock up. I'm just thankful that I can keep moving forward. The curtains are open, bathing the living area in a soft light.
I'm home.
Home. No, that's not right. This isn't my home. This isn't Noriko's home. This is Corpse Girl's home. I never really lived here. I simply existed within these walls. The real Noriko was held hostage by an omnipotent presence sealed in his home. The things here are just as I left them so long ago. It's a comforting feeling, but at the same time, it sends a chill down my spine. It's time to move on. I stride with purpose toward the kitchenette and slide open one of the drawers. Inside is a small mallet with a metal head. It's a treasure I acquired from the garden shed on the apartment grounds back when I first moved in. It's not very large, but that suits me just fine. I don't have the strength to wield anything bigger than this. Bringing it to bear is still a great deal of effort. I grip the handle with both hands and lift the deceptively heavy tool. Equipped with this tiny weapon of destruction, I slowly lurch through the hallway. I make my way to the very end, where a blank, stark white wall faces me. The paint on the wall is peeling, like it was slapped on without care. The plaster is cracked, like it was applied by an amateur. And the lingering stench of mold is at its strongest when I stand in front of this wall. I bring the mallet down with both arms, the heavy metal head crashing into the wall with as much force as I can muster. The struggle of bearing the mallet is taking its toll on my wound. I feel the stitches in my stomach threatening to snap and break. But I can't stop here. I can't stop until I've crushed this wall and revealed the glittering contents of the trove hidden inside. Another swing, and another crash against plaster. A cry of pain and another hole in the wall. I scream and swing and hammer and groan and slash and weep and crawl when the wall crumbles beneath my sheer force of will. White dust clouds my vision and provokes me into a coughing frenzy. When my eyes and throat clear up, I throw the mallet to the carpet and venture forward. I clamber through the human-sized hole in the wall and find myself within the secret cache on the other side. Oh, she actually found Kojiro's stash? But when? When did she find out? Or was it her that made the plaster behind the wall? Because I think Kojiro just said that he didn't put much effort in concealing it. Not sure. Do I have to... Oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, the picture's not that bad, so I guess it's fine. The stench assaulting my nostrils no longer disguises itself as mold. It's the fetid malodor of rot and decay, the inimitable trademark of a decomposing corpse. I spent so long fooling myself into believing it was nothing concerning. I spent so long pretending that a corpse did not live within the walls of this apartment. The truth is, this corpse pinned to the wall is the root of all evil. It's an infinite fount of misery and despair and malice and death and hatred. This is Corpse Girl.
Hello, old friend.
Oh, she knew. The corpse does not reply. To call it a corpse is no longer entirely accurate. It has become little more than a skeleton, an osseous edifice, a macabre tribute to the unyielding sense of time. Bone and flesh and hair and fabric blend and intertwine and melt together to form a sickening representation of human beauty. Beauty. I used to think this body was pure perfection. Back when the corpse was more or less intact, it was the image of a gorgeous, vibrant young woman. I aspired to become just as beautiful. Oh? So she met Shizuko's corpse before. Slender, elegant, graceful, with pale skin and dark eyes. Looking at her now, it's clear to see that I was deceived. The form before me is not beautiful. It's revolting. I shaped myself in the image of death, truly believing I was transcending mortal beauty. This corpse controlled me for so long. This corpse manipulated me and made me want to become just like it. Somewhere along the way, my own identity began to dissolve, and I started to believe that I had become this rotting carcass, this pallid bag of flesh. The spell has been broken. I don't know if it's because of my near-death experience or the clarity of mind inspired by an intoxicating cocktail of painkillers, but I no longer want to associate myself with Corpse Girl. I want to be myself, just Noriko. I no longer want to kill in the name of this blasphemous effigy.
Corpse Girl. I found you here, trapped in this storage closet, just over a year ago.
Oh.
And you stole my life from me.
Looking at her now, I can't help but wonder what the hell went through my mind when I let her possess me. Why did discovering this corpse have such a profound, lasting effect on my psyche? I shut my eyes as a wave of dizziness threatens to overcome me. Staggering in the near darkness, I struggled to regain my balance. I had blocked out the memory of discovering this corpse for so long. I refused to acknowledge it ever happened. But the crystallized fragments of that forgotten memory have finally breached the surface of my consciousness. I can finally recall the events, thanks to the clarity brought about by my current state of mind. What happened? It happened several days after I moved into his apartment. Oh! The musty smell of mold lured me to the wall at the end of the corridor. The wall had been hastily patched up and covered with plaster and paint. I wondered about the source of the smell. I figured it might be a leak, a busted pipe that needed repair. Instead of calling upon the landlord for assistance, I took matters into my own hands. Perhaps I was inspired by my newfound independence. I had just become a free young woman, living on my own for the first time. Perhaps I was just stupid. I located a mallet in the garden shed. I tore down the wall. I found Corpse Girl, and in that moment, I fell to my knees. Someone had hung this corpse upon the wall and decorated the storage room with books and photographs. The sight of the dead woman bearing down on me instantly unearthed the buried memories of my mother's attempted. The pain and despair that I had repressed for so long found its way out of my mouth and formed an unholy scream. I think the fear of that discovery and the subsequent revival of subdued memories caused me to slip in and out of consciousness. I was paralyzed by fear and entire body was racked with pain. Looking back now, I feel like I must have spent days lying in a heap on the floor in this storage closet. Days spent within a dreary haze of dread and depression and distress. Days spent at the feet of the hanging corpse, that form I began to look up to and idolize. Days spent in a lull, a fever dream, surrounded by photographs in a wall of all manner of corpses. Days and days of my soul and identity slipping between my fingers. Hold on, I need to drink more water. The weather is not good. Weather is so ridiculous. Let's continue. Something must have eventually cracked inside me because I remember getting to my feet and repairing the wall. I don't know how I did it, but I patched it up and painted over it and vacuumed up all the dust and debris from the carpet. And then, the memory of the entire incident just vanished from my mind. The only relic I retrieved from the storage space was a single book, a heavy tome that must have tumbled out of the closet during my delirium. Fast Photography, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. Oh, so Kojiro started all this by accident and he didn't know? Now, Corpse Girl doesn't look the way she used to. Uncovering her today hasn't shocked me into submission like it did all that time ago. Am I stronger now? No, not really. But I was prepared to face her this time. And now I'm here to bury her. As I calmly assess how difficult it will be to retrieve her from her position, my eyes fall upon the dozens of photos plastered haphazardly across the walls. Photographs of nameless bodies printed with an instant camera. There must be 10 or 20 or 30 corpses around the entire series of images. I don't recognize any of them. That's the only comfort I can take from viewing the images. The comfort that I'm not the one who decorated this room with these macabre visuals. Whoever put these photos up is undoubtedly the same person responsible for hanging Corpse Girl on the wall. All of the photos look so real, and all of the corpses are in such normal situations. There is an image of a decomposing body sitting on a bench waiting at a train platform. He's wearing a suit like any ordinary businessman. Another image is of a headless couple at a dinner table. Dressed in their Sunday best, they are sharing a candlelit meal. Corpses going about their daily life. It's eerily reminiscent of something I've encountered before. What was it? A book I read? Instinctively, my eyes dart to the piles of books toppled over in the corner of the storage room. There are dozens of duplicate books, as if they were abandoned here by their own author. I crouch and dust off the cover of the book at the top of the pile. Dazed by the Dead by Nobel Sinclair. Nobel Sinclair. Underneath 10 more copies of that volume is a different book with a familiar cover. Strange Flower. I know this. The very same book that Kojiro lent me so long ago. Except the book here is not some well-worn, well-read library copy. It's in pristine condition, save for the layer of dust coating it. There are nearly a dozen copies of this book as well. Someone intentionally abandoned these books here, and the fact that they are accompanying so many photos of corpses, not to mention Miss Corpse Girl herself, is no coincidence. These books and photos, as well as the copy of false photograph I found here lost so long ago, all of this is somehow embedded itself into my consciousness and inspired me to start Corpse Girl's website. I'm sure of it. This room, this cursed room, ruined my life and corrupted my mind. And I have to wonder, is somebody planned it all? Did somebody leave all of these things here in order to break whoever entered? That's probably a far-fetched concept, but I'm desperate to place the blame on somebody. Anybody but myself.
Enough.
A light slap to my face snatched me out of my inner ramblings. It's time to bury Corpse Girl and put this life behind me once and for all. I can't really atone for the things I've done this last year. Hell, I don't actually feel like I need to atone. It's not guilt that's eating me up inside. But, at the very least, I can move on. I carefully removed the restraints, tying Corpse Girl to the wall, and feel the weight of her rotted body collapse against my own frail form. Her head leans against my shoulder, and for a brief moment I pause and let her rest against me. I run a hand through what's left of her hair. She's been through a lot. We both have. We're both corpse girl. Well, we both used to be. Now we're just empty husks with no purpose. If we're not corpse girl, we'll probably be forgotten, lost to time and memory. For once in my life, I'm looking forward to being forgotten. Ending C. What? How many endings do you have? 3 months later.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Oh? I make a quick apologetic bow to my coworkers before hurrying over to my desk. No one seems to bother about my tardiness. A few people offer a raised eyebrow, but they quickly return to their own work. I take a seat at my workstation and switch my computer on. It whirs to life as I organize my belongings. From my handbag, I retrieve some key items. First is my canned coffee, still ice cold thanks to the convenience store's powerful refrigeration. Second, in my headphones. I can't complete the day of tedious data entry without listening to music. Last but not least is my phone. The screen is a little cracked, and the protective case has seen better days, but is invaluable to me. Something feels slightly off as I look at the screen. There's a nagging feeling in my mind, some small voice telling me that this isn't my phone, but I know it's mine. The familiar red case, the spiderweb fractures inching across the glass. She can see red already, all of a sudden. It's my phone, no doubt about it. Pushing the strange thoughts from my mind, I turn my attention to my computer. It doesn't take long to read over the day's list of tasks. I'll be continuing what I started yesterday. Easy.
Noriko?
I'm startled by the sudden vocalization of my name. I don't know why people call me by my name every day. Don't they?
Oh, hello, Fujikawa.
Shinya Fujikawa is standing at my desk, scratching his cheek awkwardly. I get the feeling he wants to approach a topic of conversation that makes him nervous.
I wanted to apologize. I haven't been present in the office of late.
So?
Was there anything you needed to discuss with me during my absence?
Oh. I think about the question. Shinya and I don't really need to talk on a day-to-day basis. His work is fairly unrelated to mine. I'm just a data entry temp after all. But we do have a history together, I suppose. We went to school together, after all. We were never exactly friends. Actually, I always kind of had the feeling he had a crush on me. But he's not really the type of guy to make a confession. Aoi always used to joke about how he and I would make a cute couple, but I could never see it. He was, and still is, far too dull for my taste. Aoi. Why does that name sound so distant? I try to put a face to the name, but my mind draws a blank. She was my best friend, and yet...
Noriko?
Oh, sorry. I get lost in my own head sometimes.
Yes, I see. Well, if there's nothing you need, then I'll be on my way.
Okay then.
Say, your old friend, Aoi Sato? Have you heard from her lately?
No. Actually, I feel like something must have happened to her. We haven't spoken in God knows how long.
Is that so? That's too bad.
I find it odd that he leaves the conversation with those last words. He simply walks away from my desk. My phone cries out, the unfamiliar ringtone, one that I never selected, splits my head wide open and prompts my brain to spill up between the cracks in my skull. Oh, what happened to you? I squeeze the sludgy grey matter back into my head and blink a few times, then realize that my brain is not actually leaking. Just a trick of the light? I struggle to maintain eye contact with the screen. The caller ID flashes across the device, identifying the caller as Noriko. Me, my own name, myself. Noriko is calling me. I'm calling myself? A dull ache still throbs within my head as though it has been recently emptied. I answer the call.
Hello?
I hear a sharp inhalation of breath, and then the call cuts out. It takes a few seconds for me to realize I'm crying. Shinya is at my side, his arms around my shoulders, and within seconds the rest of my coworkers are staring down at me. I'm on the floor, my face nestled within the plush office carpet. I don't know how I got here. I'm supposed to be stoic, unflinching. It's my ideology, my entire identity. So much more stoic, unflinching Noriko. Remember stoic, unflinching Noriko? Maybe if I just close my eyes, I can make everything return to normal and start this day over again. Did no one suspect anything? The stairs upward feel particularly difficult to climb today. I do not know who this is. It was a rather strange day at the office, but I know that returning home to my family will make me feel better. Shinya took me to the train station and waited until I boarded my train. It was really sweet of him. I don't fully recall the things that he said to me. He might have mentioned something about not needing to return to the office anymore. Maybe all my work there is completed? My head is still a bit fuzzy, but I'll sift through the details of the hot shower later tonight. Since the sun is beginning to go down, I think the others should be home by now. Yuriko is probably relaxing on the sofa, and Mother should definitely be here, since she doesn't leave the apartment these days. What? Is she hallucinating now? I unlock the door to the apartment and wander inside. Wait, who is this and who is who?
I'm home.
Stepping through the open door is always a comforting feeling. It's good to return after a long day at work.
There you are. Good evening, big sis. Good evening, Mom.
Yuriko offers me a warm smile. She's changed a lot recently. Her foul, rebellious attitude disappeared when she moved in. How did she get there? Maybe she simply wanted her family to be reunited again. Maybe her delinquency was all just an act, a way of trying to deny what she really wanted, to simply return home. Mother, on the other hand, doesn't really regard my entrance. But there's nothing to be concerned about. She's always distant and aloof.
Shall we order in tonight? I'm thinking some pizza would be delicious.
Yuriko nods. The act causes a small clump of her hair to detach and flutter to the floor. I'm looking forward to a quiet night with my family and some pizza. I never had the opportunity to enjoy these moments when I was growing up. In those days, I was simply grateful for the nights I could go to bed without a new bruise or gash to cover up. She's dissociating. Mother used to kick me and slap me, but hang on. I look at her now, slumped on the couch, completely lost in her own world. That's not the mother that used to abuse me. That's not the mother that was married to my father. And Yuriko never used to stand up for me. That's because Yuriko was never there when I was growing up. Where was she? I shut my eyes and try to sift through the confusing fragments of memories swirling within my mind. She's not my mother. This woman before me. She's Noriko's mother. That's it. That's how I know her. Wait. Of course she's my mother. I'm Noriko, duh. How could I forget something so simple? Yuriko was there when I was growing up. The reason she never stood up for me is because no one ever abused me. God, I don't know why I get so confused and frazzled like this sometimes. I smile at my loving family and clap my hands together.
Okay, I'm going to order dinner. Is everyone happy with barbecue pizza?
Yuriko nods and Mother lets out a quiet snore of approval. I whip my phone up to eye level and open a food delivery app. I notice that my battery only has 8% left. I should charge it up before it dies on me. I keep a charger here in the living room, so it only takes me a second to waltz over to the wall socket. As I lean down to grab the charger, I see that another phone is already plugged in. Another phone? The case is blue, and the screen doesn't have a trace of damage on it. Whose phone is this? I nervously tap the screen and see a list of noise notifications. There are a lot of messages from someone named Junpei. Junpei. It's a name that doesn't ring a bell. I check to see if the phone is unlocked by pressing my thumb against the home button. Strangely, my fingerprint unlocks the phone instantly. My fingerprint? But this isn't my phone. This can't be my phone. The messages from Junpei all open in quick succession. Junpei, free Wi-Fi. Babe, good news, HMU. Waiting for you. Coffee today? Are you mad at me? Talk to me, my willow cherry blossom. I miss you. Did I do something wrong? That splitting sensation inside my skull returns as my eyes devour the contents of the never-ending string of messages. I feel like I know this person, but I can't picture a face. I can't picture any scenario in which we have ever met or spent time together. Why does he speak to me in such a familiar way? Wait, he's not speaking to me. Of course, this isn't my phone, so these messages were never intended for me. I throw the phone aside, happy to have broken free of my concern. It doesn't matter who the phone belongs to, it's not mine, so I don't have to deal with it. I plug my own phone into the charger and feel relieved as I watch the battery icon slowly fill up.
Okay, Mom, Yuriko, I'm going to go take a shower while my phone charges. I'll order dinner after that. I promise. Thank you for being patient.
For the first time in a while, Mother actively responds to my voice.
Noriko?
That really was Asuna. Her head lifts slightly and she regards me with her dull eyes.
Mom?
Where am I? You're not Noriko.
A bead of sweat forms on my forehead and a shiver crawls slowly down my spine like a spider. Her firm, accusatory tone immediately chills me to the bone.
Of course it's me, Mom. It's me, Noriko.
No. You're... Where am...
Panic settles on her delirious face. I don't exactly blame her for being scared and confused. She's been in a near vegetative state ever since her attempted. But for her to not recognize me? For her to forget what her own daughter looks like? That's inexcusable, unforgivable. I'm Noriko, damn it! I fall to my knees, the splitting, throbbing, aching pain in my skull reaches a crescendo, threatening to blow my brains out across the living room.
I'm Noriko! Noriko Kurosawa! Look at me, Mom! Look at me!
Mother's eyes widen and she looks like she's going to pout. She turns to see Yuriko, white and ghastly, in the seat next to her, and a tear forms in her eye.
What done? What is this?
Just shut up! Just shut up and be a part of my perfect family! Look at us! All three of us! We're the Kurosawa family, and we're finally back together! We're happy, right? We're happy!
Still on my knees, I slowly lower my head to the ground and let it rest on the soft carpet. I barely registered the sound of the door behind me opening slowly. After the creaking hinges come to a rest, a strong voice floods my ears.
Yo, Harold. You're Noriko no longer. Got work for you.
The source of the voice wanders toward me and towers above my face down form. He said I'm no longer Noriko. Can my identity just slip away so easily? Can it vanish into the thin air like it was never truly a part of me?
No, I will always be. I am Noriko!
I leaped to my feet and launched myself at the man. The man who dared to enter my apartment and tell me that I'm not truly who I want to be. I barely catch a glimpse of his face before he pummels me in the nose with a broad fist. I'm on the floor again in an instant, the dizzying lights above me spinning in my blurred vision.
Get up. Get your things.
What? Is that really who I think it is?
We're cleaning up after Corpse Girl's mess.
Epilogue, Nobel Sinclair. 1 year later. What? What's going on? Now who the heck is this? The book is almost warm in my hand. It's a pristine volume, fresh off the printing press. Paperback, though I would have preferred hardback. Been a while since I last published the book. Years. Oh wait, this is Nobel Sinclair? I guess so. The epilogue did say Nobel Sinclair. The few fans I had probably thought I disappeared off the face of the earth. I did, in a way. Not my fault. Death is death. Nobel Sinclair died in a fire inside his family home. That was a long time ago. Even though my name burned to ash, my body survived. I had to pick up a new name after that. Can't wander this planet without one. This body went on living for quite a while with a new name. I even grew to like it. Then the strangest thing happened. Another fire. Inside a morgue this time. New name went up in flames. My body survived. Again? Fate? Don't know. Felt a bit lost after that. Felt a bit unlike anybody. I decided to pick the old name back up, dusted it off, pinned it on my chest. Nobel Sinclair. It always suited me. Mother gave it to me after all. This time, I didn't want to completely disregard my existence. The time spent as another man. Too much happened. I've got too much to tell. Too many tales to keep to myself. So this new book tells the entire story from start to end. Oh! He survived! He did survive, what the heck? Wasn't easy typing page after page with only one arm. One of the most taxing and challenging things I've ever attempted. But now, it's done. Soon this new volume will hit store shelves across the country. The world will know everything. I used pseudonyms throughout the book to protect the identities of the guilty. Didn't print Noriko Kurosawa's real name even once. Didn't identify Junpei Matsumoto or Aoi Sato. Didn't call out Tomoe Watanabe or even that wannabe detective that always chases me, Shinya Fujikawa. And most importantly, I didn't print my previous name. Not that name anyway. I confessed a lot of things within this text. I even confessed my involvement with the human removal service. Getting caught up in that organization's web of death wasn't something I ever intended to do. It wasn't something Kojiro ever would have done. But it was necessary. Necessary in order to finish this latest book. Nobel Sinclair rose through the ranks of the Shadow Society within mere weeks. Chalk it up to his or my macabre experiences. Couldn't have done it without the connections I formed as Kojiro. Couldn't have done any of this without him. I'm at the top of the ladder now, so to speak. Got a bunch of killers on my payroll, even the dog Junpei's on my leash now. Don't know where I'll go from here. Original plan was to shut the human removal service down, delete its existence as a final act of love for Noriko. But the power is nice. The power is intoxicating. Again, Kojiro wouldn't have toyed around with something like this. I'm not Kojiro. I look over the book in my hand once more. It's heavy, full of words that carry more weight than they should. Whether people believe the content of this book is out of my control. But those with a keen intellect will surely be able to piece the truth together. My eyes scanned the cover and read over the large embossed letters. Corpse Factory, a novel by Nobel Sinclair. I've never been more proud of my work. Ooh, interesting. The end. Wow. I see. Okay. I see what happened to this guy. But now it actually makes me wonder, why did he, chop his arm off? He didn't need to do that actually. No one was in the morgue. Unless he knows that Junpei is following him? Or something? So much loose ends. But I guess if to tie up the loose ends, I had to get the other endings, I guess. This one was not available just now, so let's see what this is actually. Which ending would you like to view? Oh, there is a true ending. I got the hell ending. Wait, Which ending would you like to view? I got the ending. Which ending did I get now? C? Was it ending C that I get, or was it? I didn't get the false ending. I think I got the hell ending. Wow, I can't remember. Bonus ending? Nope. How do I go back? There you go. Let me just save right here. I think if I want to get the other endings is based on this choice. I have a feeling. But let me just go back to the title. I'm not sure if I want to choose the other endings. Oh, this is gone gold. Okay. So if I would... Oh no! I accidentally did this. Oh dear. That was a really bad move. Okay. Let's try... Let's see. Let's go to the... Wait, I think mine was hell ending. Let me just double check. Ah yes, I think this was the ending I got, the hell ending.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Yep. Let's go back to the title. Oh no, let me just go back to the load screen. So let's try going to the false ending. See whether they allow us to. Ending B, false. Noriko Kurosawa. Still 3 months later, okay. Aoi and I used to always dream about getting away, breaking away from all the stress and tension of our everyday world. She dreamt of going somewhere cold for a winter getaway, somewhere she could snuggle up by a warm fireplace and drink hot cocoa and feel at peace. Wait, before I start, is this based on what I would choose a day? Wait. Let me check the gallery. I had a few lost and I have a feeling it's from those multiple choice. Yeah, I have a feeling it's based on those multiple choice. So how about this? I will not stream the other ending because there's the backtracking is way too far. Yeah, the backtracking is way too far to continue. So instead, I suggest we'll see. I'll just play my own and see how much it actually deviated. And while you perhaps maybe buy the game yourself, see if you can get the other endings. I guess it's easier to get the other endings because there's like only 3 choice scenarios. So I guess it's easy in that sense. So, for this visual novel, I find it slightly predictable, as in, but there are some surprises actually. Like, yeah, it's obvious that Aoi is not the only herald, but she's in charge of the herald. She works as a herald in only her area. Because how is it possible that she and Junpei could clear the whole morgue on their own? So there's sure something going on. Yeah, like Nobel Sinclair. I don't think Nobel Sinclair was the herald. I believe he's not the boss of the human removal service. I don't think, or I'm not sure, unless he purposefully do all that, to get some inspiration for his book. I'm not sure. So is he really the boss behind the human removal service? Yeah, there's just too many questions to answer. So on that note, I suggest you buy the game. It's quite nice. They also have, I believe, Japanese voiceovers. You may also try them out. While I get the other endings off stream. So I got the hell ending. I do not know whether that's good or bad, but I did see a true ending over there. So it was not the true ending I got. All too bad. On my first try, that is. So that's all from me. And thank you for coming to the stream. And I see you some other time. So remember, if you want to buy if you want to experience the other endings, I suggest you buy and play the game on your own. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you for coming to the stream, and I'll see you